Hey everyone, welcome to week 2. First thing we're going to do is review a little bit about week 1, sort of how the worksheets work. Then we'll go right into the week 2 stuff, which is about checking up on your toolbox and those critical things that we're going to need to move forward. The next few weeks are really an overview. They're an introduction into some of the things that need to happen in order for us to take that next step to success. But we'll get into all of the details as we move along in the class. So just so you know, if you're watching this video and you're going through it and you're wondering, well, how do I do that? Why do I do that? We're going to get there, but today I just want to make sure that your homework for this week is really setting yourself up with all of these tools. And I know it sounds kind of silly, some of this stuff is really basic, but this is all stuff that I've run into, and it's all stuff that you're going to need to make sure that is just in that toolkit, no matter how basic it is. So let's start here. Week 1, you guys came to the meeting. Some of you, a couple of you watched it through the Facebook Live. Typically that one meeting from here going forward is going to be in person, and we'll kind of review the worksheets and such. As you look at the worksheets, I just want to make sure everybody knows exactly how those are used. So the front side has your critical tasks that you need to do. And as you go through, you just check the box as you complete each of those tasks daily, weekly, monthly, however often you do that. Once you check that box, you flip the page over, and you're going to write in the time slot what you did at that particular time. So if it was writing thank you notes, then you would check that box, you would flip it over and say, I wrote thank you notes at 9 a.m. And the real key to all this, the goal to this is, number 1 on the front side, for you to just very easily check as many boxes as you can every day. And then at the end of the week, we're going to total those up and we're going to get a number of points. Every week, we want to get more points than the previous week. But secondly, once that week is done and we're doing our analysis of what went well, what our challenges were, and what our critical focuses are for the week going forward, you're going to see how much of your time was spent doing these critical tasks, doing the tasks that we agreed that industry experts and high performers are doing in order to achieve the higher level of success that we're all trying to get to. So that's how the worksheet works. Going forward, you're going to start getting your daily BombBomb videos, all right? So it's just a quick little 1 or 2 minute reminder from me about what I want your focus to be for that particular day. It's just going to get dropped right into your email pretty early in the morning, and it'll take you 1 or 2 minutes to watch that. On Sundays, I will be posting the new worksheet and the new video for the week. So what you're going to get with this video is you're going to get the worksheet also. What's going to happen is I'll send you an email, and that email is going to give you the instructions to go to the member site that you already logged into, the one that you got into when you registered, and there will be videos posted in there each week, new videos, along with the new worksheet. These worksheets you want to print out front and back, that way we can 3-hole punch them and put them into the binder that we have together, our little Map to Success binder. So that's the review. If you guys have any questions about that stuff, feel free to either call me or text me, 480-436-1820. You can email me, mj@maptosales.com. All right, let's jump into week 2 now. And week 2 is really those critical things that we're going to need in order to be successful in this business. And I'm going to start out with the very most basic thing. But I met with over 100 of you in the last week and a half. There's been 100 people that have come into the meetings and at least visited. Out of those 100 people, only about 20%, 21% had business cards on them. They're called business cards because we need them for business. And you never know where you're going to run into somebody that can have what you need to offer or potentially refer you to somebody. And so it's really critical, and it drives me a little bit crazy that we all walk around with wallets, we all walk around with pockets, we all walk around with purses, not all of us, but some of us, and we don't have business cards ready. And many of you said, oh, they're in my car, I can go grab one. But if you meet a new person and you connect with them, obviously we'd love to program their phone number. But more importantly, we've got to exchange business cards with them if they have a business card. If not, we're going to give them our business card, we're going to get their contact information, and then we're going to hopefully set up a time to follow up with them. And all of this stuff, again, we're going to go into in detail. But when we start talking about our toolbox, and a friend of mine actually said, maybe a better analogy is a recipe. Before we can start baking, before we can start cooking, we have to make sure that we have all of the ingredients. And so all we're doing right here is we're trying to accumulate all the ingredients for a successful recipe. First and foremost, have your business cards, have them ready. Not any crumpled ones, some nice, good quality business cards that you can give out, and somebody can contact you, somebody can give that business card to somebody else if they're looking to give you a referral. Okay, it's gonna be really hard. Again, we always wanna follow up with them, get that exchange of information, but have those business cards ready. Secondly, you need a CRM. And many of you work for companies that have a company CRM, meaning you're gonna pile all of your customer data in there, all your client data in there. If something should happen and that company gets sold, or you get laid off, or you get fired, or you decide to quit, there's no way to access all that past client information. And so we want to make sure that we have our own system, our own CRM available to us to be able to capture all that client data, so that if we do go somewhere else, if we decide to make a change, that we have all of our client data with us and we don't have to try and print stuff out and recreate it, put it in a new CRM. So number 2 is a CRM. Number 3 is your appropriate social media pages. At a minimum, you should have a personal Facebook page, a business Facebook page, and an Instagram account. Again, if you don't have those things, if you're not an expert, don't sweat it. We've got experts coming in. We're going to walk you through the most effective ways, the most efficient ways, the most professional ways. We're going to have options from free to people doing it for you. And I'll introduce you to those people if that's the direction you want to go. But as a baseline, as we're putting our ingredients out on the countertop, getting ready to bake, we need to make sure that we have all these tools. And those are Facebook personal page, Facebook business page, and an Instagram account. Now, some of you may have personal pages and you don't want to share that information. Not a problem. Just create a second personal page with a different email address, and you can start inviting the appropriate friends or inviting new people to that page, because there's some things that a personal page is going to do that a business page won't, which is why if you're not comfortable using your personal page, we'll just create another one. But number 3 is you have to have all the social media tools in place in order to do your job. Obviously, we want some high quality phones, high quality laptops, because we're going to need those things to record videos. We want to have a nice high quality camera on there, so if we're taking pictures of a property or we're taking pictures of events that we're working, we want to make sure that those are very high quality videos, high quality pictures. So number 4 is have yourself a great phone, and your laptop should have Skype capability, should have a great camera, great mic on it, be plenty fast enough for you to do what you need to do. If you're taking an app and you're doing it on a laptop, we want to make sure that we have a professional high-speed laptop that we can move forward. You might want to have a hotspot, because if you go somewhere or you meet somebody and you need to access information and the internet's slow, it just drives people crazy. So you may want to consider having a hotspot on your phone with some high-speed data. So in many cases, I don't risk it. I just, if the internet's good, I hook up to the internet. But if I'm having problems, I just switch over to the hotspot on my phone, and I get great speeds out of that, so that I can do my job and I can download things, I can upload things, do whatever I need to do there. All right, the next thing is we really want to have access to all the information, all the product knowledge. And so each of you is going to have a little bit different setup for that. But I do want you to put some thought, and I want you to put some research this week into, when I have product questions, where do I go? Who is my resource? Do I have a mentor? Do I have a broker? Do I have a company website? What guidelines am I using so that I make sure that I'm giving accurate information, I'm serving my customer well, but I'm also not breaking any rules either, because that's important. Okay, so we have business cards, we have phones, we have all this stuff. We just want to make sure that when we're ready to move forward with people, we have all the tools ready, and they're great tools. And we're going to go over each one of those as we move forward, okay? Another one is, do I have my scripts ready? And part of this program is, as we go along and we're doing these modules, we have all the scripts you're ever going to need for any interaction. Scripts for meeting people in person, scripts for phone calls, scripts for FSBOs, scripts for expired listings. Any scripts you guys are going to need, we have. One of the ones I want you to start putting thought into, and the first one that we're going to work on though, is your little 30-second introduction, your 30-second commercial, because we want to be different. We want to be better than anybody else that that they've heard introduce themselves that's been in our industry. So you may want to start putting in some thought about this 30-second commercial, and then we'll refine that here pretty quickly also. But the major theme of today is to make sure that we have all these tools ready. And we're ready so that we can start building as we move forward in these weeks. And when we go to the Facebook page, and we might spend 1 or 2 sessions on Facebook, or it may be an hour video instead of a 15 to 20 minute video. And we're really going to refine how you do this. And if you want somebody else to do it, obviously I have some resources for that. When we get to the CRM section, I have some free resources, I have some paid resources. But you guys are going to be able to choose whatever's appropriate for your situation. Today, though, the main theme is if you have brochures, if you have them online, you will need to know where they're at on your laptop or where they're at on your phone. So if somebody asks for a brochure and you're going to email it, you can do it very quickly. If it's a hard copy, right, you have it organized in your car, in your home office, or if you have a binder or a purse and that's where you keep it, that you know exactly where these are and you can pull it out and it's professional and expedient for everyone that you work with. Because part of what we're trying to do here is just be a higher level professional, and that just means preparation. It means understanding what tools we need and having them available and professional, and being able to use those when we talk about these brochures, when we talk about these media pieces, or we talk about even if you're giving away swag. How do we do that? How do we present that? What's the thought behind it? What is the word track behind it? What's the script behind it? Because we want to script everything we do. And some people don't like scripts, but part of having these scripts and part of practicing these scripts as a tool is that we need to do it so it comes across very sincere, very conversational. We know that we can affect human emotion by the way we talk and the words that we use. So we want to be very, very deliberate about that. And the scripts are going to be a big part of the tool box that we're putting together. They're going to be a big part of the recipe. And so in review, we have tools. We want to make sure that they're ready. We want to make sure that they are complete and that they're professional. So some of the things that we talked about were obviously having business cards. It's a big one. We want to have a good phone that we can use for anything that we need, pictures, videos, if we have to access the internet through our phone. Our laptop should be a high speed, should be new, should be organized. Our desktop should be professional looking with files on it that we can just open up and pull whatever we need. We want to have our social media. If you're not a social media expert, if you don't like social media, don't let that get to you. That's not a big deal at all. We're going to work on those things step by step, and we're going to really make it very simple for you. But you have to at least create the accounts. And so part of what we're doing right now is we're building that foundation, because what we don't want to do is go into social media week without the accounts being built, because then we have to start from scratch. We have to start adding people, and we're going to be a little bit behind when we actually want to start working on content. So we want to do a personal Facebook page, we want to do a business Facebook page, and we want to do an Instagram account. Instagram is getting a lot of traction right now, so we don't want to ignore that. Okay. We want any product knowledge resources. So we need to know if we have a question, where we go. The last thing we want to do is get a question we don't have the answer to and not even know what resource we're going to start with. So part of this week is researching if I have questions, if I need guidance, if I need mentorship, what direction do I go to get those product knowledge questions answered? We also need things like brochures, whether they're electronic brochures or hard copy brochures, to be organized and professional, easy to access. You may want to have some open house signs already, right? If you get invited to an open house, you want to do an open house, we don't want to be scrambled with that. Do we have a plan? You should have a plan for how you hold the open house, a little set procedure. That's one of the tools that we need, because an open house is going to be a big tool. And then we're going to have a plan for it. We're going to know how we're going to do our signs. We're going to know how many we need. We're going to know how many we put. So we just want all of this stuff in place. So today is just more of an overview about these tools. And if you guys want to add anything else to that, these are kind of the basic ones everybody uses. Some of you use some unique things. If you want to share that with the group, just hit me with an email reply, or you can text me, and I'll add it to the list of tools, and we can resend out the worksheet. So this week's worksheet is the same as last. We're starting on Sunday this week, so that's great. We're going to check off our success boxes just as we go down, as we do all these critical items that we need to do every single week to build a foundation of success. We're going to have the exercise on the front of this sheet, which is going to talk about this toolbox, and we're going to make a little check boxes, and we're just going to we're going to add the check boxes for all of the tools that we need. This will be the only time that the tools will be on a checkbox, but we just want to make sure that they're there. So your homework for this week will be to make sure you have these tools, make sure they're accessible and professional. And then we're going to start building on that if you need some help with Facebook and such, but at least create those accounts. On the back side, obviously, I want you to analyze your calendar from the first week. How many boxes are full? Are there more white boxes on the calendar with the times than there are check boxes? And we should have more boxes that are filled in with activities. If not, how do we do more of that next week? And then we're going to do a little analysis on the bottom of the back sheet, which is what were my wins this week? What did I do well? And then underneath that is, what was my challenge? Underneath that is your critical tasks for the following week, and I'll give you a hint to the critical tasks. Those critical tasks should be doing more of what went well and less of what challenged you. So it's been great working with you guys. It was amazing meeting most of you, and we're going to move forward. We're going to start getting super detailed going from here forward. Be looking for those BombBomb videos every single day in your email. They're 1 to 2 minutes. Dive into those things and really do what those BombBomb videos are asking, because it's a big part of changing how we think and the beliefs that we have and the things that hold us back. So I love working with you guys. I look forward to this next week, and we'll see you again next Sunday.